What is going on, guys? What is going on, 27 Squad? Welcome back in to another video. And today I want to talk about Dave Gettleman. Now, a lot of people have had Pat Shurmur on the hot seat, and rightfully so. And a lot of people are now putting Dave Gettleman in the hot seat as well, just letting their frustrations out on whoever they think should have, whoever should take the blame. They're just blaming anybody who they think should take the blame to get their frustrations out or something like that. But I assure you right now, do not fire Dave Gettleman. Now, if you want to do something with Pat Shurmur, if you want to do something with James Bettcher, I'll be okay with that. Now, I am all for giving Pat Shurmur one more year as long as he's not calling plays, but if he is, then I really don't care if he leaves. As far as Dave Gettleman goes, I think he's vital to this franchise as far as us building for the future and potentially winning a Super Bowl. I think he is that talented in drafting players. Now, free agency is a different thing. Whether you want to say he had enough money to do this, Nate Solder was a bad signing, all these things, the Jonathan Stewart signing was questionable, and things like that. You guys can argue that. The Antoine Bethea signing, and a lot of free agency moves as far as letting players go, re-signing players, that may be an issue with Dave Gettleman, but one thing I do know for certain is that this guy is one of the best drafting GMs in the NFL. There is no dispute about that. You've seen what he did in Carolina, and with the players that he's drafted there. On top of that, the last first round pick that he drafted was Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey, who is dominating with the Panthers right now. He is the best offensive weapon for the Panthers right now. And, the next year when Dave Gettleman took on the reins as the Giants GM, wanted to do the same thing with the Giants, build in that same fashion and draft a running back early to run the rock and build the offensive line. Now, for the most part, he's getting there with the offensive line. It's looked terrible this year, but I'll tell you right now, they started all out the gate the first couple of weeks hot. They started out one of the best offensive lines in the league according to Pro Football Focus, and just by the eye test, they were one of the best offensive lines in the league, and they got figured out because of the offensive game plan, the offensive schemes, and Pat Shurmur. That falls on Pat Shurmur, not Dave Gettleman. Sure, Nate Solder was probably not a good signing, but at the time in free agency, he had no other option. He had to make a move right away. And he overpaid for Nate Solder. Sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some when it comes to making those risks in free agency. Now, that all can be solved if you get good, consultants around you for, especially for free agency. If he's not good at free agency, there's no problem with, getting assistants or something like that, assisting staff. I'm sure he has that already. And, I'm sure they go over, who they should sign, draft, and let go, things like that. It's not just Dave Gettleman. But as far as putting the pieces together, what has Dave Gettleman not done for us? You look at Jerry Reese and the times with Jerry Reese. If we let go of Dave Gettleman, we're looking at potentially there is a risk of hiring a GM like Troy Aikman, who wants to become a GM now. Troy Aikman now wants to follow the same footsteps as a John Lynch, who is a former player, becoming a GM, or even John Elway of the Broncos, for quarterback position. He wants to become a GM. Hopefully he doesn't come here if we let go of Dave Gettleman. But you're risking that. You're risking letting go of Dave Gettleman, who's drafted fantastic. His past two drafts were great. The only thing that anybody ever had to knack on Dave Gettleman was Daniel Jones, and look how that turned out. That was one of the worst picks because we didn't pick up Josh Allen, but we picked up Daniel Jones, and it looks like the future is looking bright for the New York Giants, that we have our franchise quarterback. Okay? You look at Saquon Barkley. You look at Will Hernandez. You look at other late round picks, Lorenzo Carter. You look at BJ Hill. You look at in this draft, O'Shane Ximines, Julian Love, Ryan Connolly, Darius Slayton, who not to mention had over 150 yards and 2 touchdowns last week in prime time. This guy knows how to draft players. He knows how to build a team. You're going to risk, getting another GM in there if Troy Aikman were to do it or something like that, and risk putting someone in position that does not know how to rebuild a franchise. It's different when you have a team that has been good for such a long time, and is still good, and you're coming into that situation where you don't need to rebuild. A GM that doesn't need to rebuild, like a Kansas City Chiefs, they have the pieces there. They just need to draft, a couple pieces there to win their championship. It's different with a team that needs to rebuild to get in, to compete for a playoff spot, to compete every year. We're not there yet. It's hard. You have to be a really talented, experienced guy to throw in there and build a team from the inside out. So, that being said, I don't want to get rid of Dave Gettleman. He is a no-touch. I love Dave Gettleman. A lot of people may not like him, but what has he done wrong as far as drafting? What has he done wrong? Darius Slayton, Julian Love, who has a forced fumble and interception this year with limited play. Lorenzo Carter, who we had high hopes for, but he hasn't really looked up to, his potential. A couple other guys in there. He made some good signings as well. Marcus Golden, who thought he would be a great signing. The guy has like 8 or 9 sacks on the year right now. So, that being said, guys, we cannot get rid of Dave Gettleman. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I know he has his faults. He has, he's not perfect. He's not the perfect GM. Really, nobody ever is. So, that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new. And I'll see you guys in the next video.